Welcome, guys. This is CE Game here, coming at you to talk about the season and the season update and stuff that's going to be coming out. Also joined by.
Hey guys, this is Zainira.
We just wanted to drop in real fast. Hopefully, it don't take 15 minutes to explain all this, but we're going to kind of like shoot it at you. So the patch date's going to be the 18th. So that's going to be the download that starts. That's also going to make everything that is in the Eternal Realm activate and be able to drop, and you can get that in the Eternal Realm on the 18th. So if you play that fast, or if you're level 100 and you're just like, hey, I'm just gonna do a lot of farming on the 18th, 19th, and a little bit into the 20th, they also came out and said that the season will start the 20th. We're not really completely sure on a time exactly, but we know it's on the 20th, so we're probably going to have like some weird patch thing that comes through. The game will be down and then it'll come back up. Is there anything you wanted to shoot in there real quick?
I wanted to go ahead and shoot in that, yes, when he was saying about Eternal having stuff updated on the 18th with the download patch, this means the uniques that they're bringing into the game as well as the new legendaries, those will be put into Eternal. None of the ladder stuff will be put into Eternal, but we will have something to kind of grind until they release it on the 20th.
Yeah, and just to conclude on that, they haven't released an official ladder yet, but there is the season. So if you're coming from like basically D2, it just because it says ladder, that's basically season. There is no official ranking yet of the ladder, so that's a little disappointing, but it was to be expected. We want to jump in real quick and explain to you what you need to do right now ASAP. And you got less than 2 weeks to do it. And I mean, we're talking about less than 2 weeks starting
Now.
right now. If you haven't beat the campaign, beat the campaign. Put it on the lowest difficulty, play a different class, get your friend to rush you through it, beat the campaign. You must beat the campaign. And we're going to get into that here in a little bit and explain why. Also, to add into that, make sure that you collect all the altars of Lilith, all of the grayed out area on your map, including waypoints. Make sure you have all that stuff unlocked. Did you want to add anything on that one?
Yes, as he was saying, the renown is going to somewhat flip over into the season. So you need to get all your stuff done for renown that you're wanting to get done that might be difficult or something that you haven't done recently.
Yeah, and we highly advise you getting that completed. If you have a friend, especially if it's hardcore, as you see right here going on in this gameplay, hardcore account, getting through that, those capstones, through the fallen temples, get through all that stuff you can. You don't have to unlock tier 4 and all that stuff. Just go around and unlock all of those altars, all those areas, level up to at least level 50. That's going to give you the accessibility of getting around the map, at least in hardcore, and not just die to a random mob spawning on you. If it's, softcore, go ahead and invite a friend. If you can't find a friend, you should be safe enough to just kind of run around everywhere. I mean, of course, if you die, it's not the end of the world. And then you'll be able to grab those altars and those waypoints and stuff like that. A huge thing to talk about, though, on that whole topic, do all that on one account.
Yes.
What I mean by account is I mean a toon, like character, whatever you want to call it. If you have that one toon that you've been playing, like say, like we're playing right here, this Demon Hunter. If you're playing on this toon, go all the way through all of that stuff, unlock all the waypoints, all the great area, and all that stuff. Because if you don't do it on one character, you're going to have things missing on a different character. And the way they updated this whole new system, the way it's going to work, when you log into your account, and then you go through your settings, and you're going in there, and you log onto your toon on your account. Well, when you log onto that on the 18th, 19th, and so on, all your data and all the stuff you have completed will load into a system, and that system will save the data. So every time you make a new account on the Eternal Realm, hardcore, even in a season mode, it's going to transfer all that information and data to that stuff. So that's a big deal, and make sure you definitely do that ASAP.
Yes, that is definitely going to be a big thing. And as they said before in the announcement, you can be like going on vacation or whatever. This ain't going to stop you from being like, oh no, I only have between the 18th and the 20th to load this into my account from what I have done on the Renown and the campaign and everything. That's not how that works. You do it all, you log on to that account, it'll upgrade it to the next account. It's just like if you start an account and then you're like, well, where's all my progress? Well, you gotta flip onto your other account, it loads it, then you can go back to your new account, and there it is. They're not saying that it's going to be like oh no, you only have this amount of time. It's going to be there.
Right. And so next going in, once you completed all that stuff and you're ready for the season, the new thing is going to be Malignant. And that's kind of like, I don't know how you would really put that in a different term. Basically, it's going to be like things you can put into your jewelry. They haven't really said anything about putting it in anything else yet, but it can go into rings, amulets, stuff like that. And you can basically start this journey as well at level 1. Since you've completed all this stuff prior, and you did all your renown and everything like we were talking about, you can actually start at level 1. You get all your potions unlocked, so you literally start with 9 potions. You start with 5 extra points, so you start the game pretty strong. And then you also start leveling your Malignant stuff. So at literally level, I would suggest 5+ so far from what we've seen. Hardcores beware and be careful, because we really don't know what this is going to do. We don't know what the affixes and stuff that's going to spawn with these monsters. We just heard they are extremely difficult, and yeah.
So what I want to point in from this is that they did say there is going to be a small side campaign for us to do before the Malignant thing starts. So when you pop into the season, you're going to do this campaign. You won't have any Malignant, supposedly, elites be able to spawn until you complete this, which is how you're going to be able to get the cage, to cage the hearts that are Malignant and put it into your jewelry socketed. As for stuff to be able to put it in there, they did say that there is going to be 4 different colors of hearts, 3 being specific to what sockets they go in, whether it be blue to blue, yellow to yellow, and supposedly red to red. I'm not sure what the 4th color is, but the 4th color can go in any color socket from what they said, and there's going to be 32 affixes, as in critical strike, shadow damage, and whatnot, on these hearts, and it can be random.
Yeah, and just to point out, red, blue, yellow, and some color that we don't know. And it's also going to be infested sockets, so I don't know if it's going to say that when you hover over it. They kind of like showed different things, and in the video they were showing, it didn't really like... They were also kind of making it seem like it was to be determined almost. Like they were like, hey, this is what we have loaded on a server somewhere, and we kind of have it saved, but we don't know if this is officially what it's going to look like. So basically with this, you're going to get new builds, new pathways, new ways of playing the game, basically. And no one has really figured this stuff out, obviously, because it hasn't came out yet. So you're going to see new builds, new paths. We'll probably be testing out some things and probably get some stuff uploaded for you guys so you can check that out. And then you can kind of go from there. Did you want to add anything to that?
Slightly. They were talking about adding... for the season stuff, they were saying that there might be some more affixes to put on gear. We don't know about that completely yet, as well as I didn't really understand how the question went, because I watched it like 2 or 3 times, but I was still kind of confused, and I don't feel like there was a clear answer because they're not specific on it yet. But they were saying, if I get a ring or an amulet and it has a blue socket on it, can I take it to the jeweler and get a different socket put on it? I did not get a clear answer from that.
And I wanted to say, it seems like it's not going to be like that, but you can, as soon as you have this whole thing unlocked, and you're doing the whole Malignant and the stuff with that and the side campaign and all that type of stuff, as long as you're doing that, you can get a piece of jewelry, and if it doesn't have a socket on it, you can take it to the jeweler, and then when you stick it on there and do the upgrade, or put a socket in there, it can roll any of the 3 of the 4 that can be in there. They didn't say which ones have better chances. They didn't really say which one's going to roll better. It just says you're going to have a chance, and anytime you do roll sockets, it's always going to have an infested socket.
Yes.
And it's just, and you can throw anything in there, as in like jewels. And if you still want to use your skulls, if you're hardcore and you're kind of afraid, that's probably what I'm going to be doing, because I really don't know what this stuff's going to do yet. You can do that.
As well as going into, they did talk about that after you do all that you are going to be able to enter dungeons that are going to have malignant tunnels, which is going to be at the end of it. There's going to be a manifestation where you can pick between two different blobs, I guess, that have, whether it's going to be like, each one are going to be called different, but I'm going to say the blue or the yellow or the red or the yellow or whatever, where it will spawn an elite with the malignant heart that you can then pick up. I will note that they did say you do not have to cage a heart. It will drop on the ground, and it can be caged, or you don't have to. I don't know how well they're going to go further into that or not, or if it's going to be specific, but I guess we'll see. As well as in-game stuff coming on later in the season, they did mention that there might be stuff for Hell Tides and Nightmare Dungeons that's going to be new updated, but that's probably going to be later on in the process. And then they did mention that hearts can be broke down, so if you have a lower level heart, which I'm guessing they're going to have Ancestral and Scarce, it can be broke down into materials that can be used in the season, I guess the premium or the free. They did say that this is going to be mostly cosmetics. To do cosmetics, I don't know if it's going to be for specific colors or what they're going to do with it. We're still kind of a little lost on that, but again, it's just something to learn as we go.
Right. And in going further on that one, for everyone that did buy the whole season pass thing, or they bought like the higher upgrades, yeah, we just also want to say this out loud. It is not a pay to win. I repeat, not paid to win. Basically, the free-to-play and normal will both be giving you bonuses to, like, probably some type of stat thing, some type of weapon or something that's going to drop that you can use while you're leveling up. That's all going to be a part of the whole season journey, which, insert Diablo 3 joke here. That's basically going to be a thing that's going on. It's going to be kind of the same for anyone that played D3. You're going to feel at home. Everyone that didn't, you're going to kind of be a little confused, but you're going to kind of understand what's going on. And with that being said, it's going to be mainly cosmetics. I think they said something about horses and horse armor for people that like collecting, that type of stuff. We still haven't heard anything about pets or anything about extra loot tabs. No back pieces, no real trophies. All that stuff is mainly going to just be the way it is right now.
Right. And the last thing I want to say is I have a couple of questions, just three, just out of the things, is do we have to upgrade the cage to collect different hearts? Do you have to run to a specific person in town that's just like, oh, you have to upgrade it to grab an ancestral manifest in heart or whatever? It's like, is there going to be an upgrade for that you have to collect different resources for? How many times can you use this cage to heart something? Like in a dungeon, can you only cage one heart? Is there going to be multiple you can cage? How many times can you use it? Does it have a cooldown? And then the last one is are we going to have problems when this starts where you're going to be in a dungeon running for this specific thing, and are we going to have bugs where it's going to be like, well, you can't cage this heart. It's froze and you just ran this whole thing and it's now a problem. Have they done research or any updates on this yet? We don't know.
Exactly, and that's all going to be questions that we're going to be having to ask as soon as we get to that point in the season. And, that's just going to be things that are, it's going to happen in a season, especially we're talking about season 1. We're talking about we've dealt with a lot of issues and problems. They're doing a lot of things to try to maintain the game and push it forward and help stuff. There's still a lot of things that I'm not happy about that wasn't really addressed in the season 1 stuff, and those are problems that won't be fixed or looked at until season 2, maybe even season 3 now. It's just gonna have to happen. I'm happy with the stuff that they did put out, happy with the things they did talk about. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and close it here, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all can follow me on Twitch. Y'all can follow me on this YouTube. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the video, enjoy the content. Thank you very much, guys. And we also post on Twitter every now and then. There's photos and things like that. So if you want to tune over there and follow us, that'd be really appreciated. After that, we're out, guys.
See you later.